Hey guys, what is going on? My name is NoJ456, and Season 1 of Modern Warfare Zombies Easter egg just dropped and was completed. We have figured out how to access the massive Dark Ether portal that materializes into thin air right next to the Tier 3 zone and go into Tier 4 zombies, where you're going to be able to complete a few contracts that have the rarest loot in the game. I'm talking a Dark Ether Blade, which is basically a brand new Hell's Retriever that you can craft. You can take in armor, which automatically repairs itself and is always full, and you can also earn things like Scorcher weapon cases. You can also earn things like dog bones, which allow you to spawn a dog. This is the by far and large best loot in the entire game, and we're going to be breaking down how to actually complete the Easter egg and how to go into these Tier 4 zones, complete them in record time, get sigils, get elder sigils, and get out with all of your loot. It is absolutely incredible, and we're all going to get started with it right now. So essentially how this Easter egg works is we are going to need to get 4 main golden quest items. You get these 4 quest items, you place them into the pedestals around in this little island next to the Tier 3 zone. A mega portal opens up, you have to fight a bunch of enemies, and you have unlocked this forever. You only have to do this once, and once you do it, it is unlocked and you can start getting sigils to drop. Sigils are going to allow you to open up this portal and go in and face Dark Ether, but we're jumping ahead of ourselves. Let's talk about how we get all 4 of these golden items in order to open this up. So gonna get started with the first golden quest item. Again, these can be done in any order you like. I'm just going to go through one by one, starting with the golden diary, which is going to be obtained from doing the brand new story mission. So at the very edge of the Tier 3 zone, you will see a gigantic hurricane going on. You're going to go toward that hurricane, and then you're going to go to this portal on the bank right next to the hurricane. Now, once you vote to enter this with your squad, you're going to be faced with an objective of basically just deleting and filling with souls 4 different obelisks around the map. You're going to go ahead and fill those up and make your way to the beach, where you're going to find the gigantic worm boss. Now, the obelisk, super easy, Tier 2 zombies. However, the worm boss is incredibly difficult, especially if you have 3 or less players. I strongly recommend getting as big of a group as possible, because even if you have not as big of a setup, or some people don't have as good of guns, if you have more people with more revives, more specialists, everything, it is going to be light years easier. Please get as many players as possible for this. But I would strongly recommend having Tier 3 Pack-a-Punch, at least blue or purple rarity. Whenever you go into this, you're going to want to have perks and everything. This worm is way harder than the worm we fought at the end of Act 3. He's going to have a new attack where he basically eats you, and as soon as you shoot your way out, he's going to spit you at the ground, and if you don't pull your parachute in time, you will insta-die. The worm has these little purple orbs that fly around. These orbs do a ton of damage and pretty much one-shot you if you don't have armor, so you're going to need to shoot these with a gun as they're flying around. I strongly recommend a long-range bullet gun so you can keep your distance from him. This is very difficult. I got absolutely clapped on my first time solo, but play back with a big squad and you should be absolutely fine. We cleaned it easily whenever we went in with the 6-player squad. So that is how you get the golden diary. Rift will spawn, grab the reward out of it, which is this golden diary, and go ahead and extract. Now at this point, you want to put this into your stash, because you're going to be saving it for later in a game where you already have everything set up and you're going with your absolute best loot. But go ahead, put it in your stash, and then load into a new game, because we are going to get the next things right now. So the second golden item is incredibly easy to get. All you need to do is load into the game with a Molotov, or find one in the loot somewhere or from a zombie. Take it over to one of these dog houses, and you need to stick it into the dog house. You don't even need the piece of meat that I put in there with this. All you need is the Molotov. Just stick it into one of the dog houses. The dog house will explode and a dog will pop out. Here's a quick map of all of the dog kennels that can possibly spawn into the map. Obviously, they're not going to all be there every single game, so just find the nearest one to you and just keep checking until you find one. But once you spawn this in, kill the dog, and it will drop a purple dog collar. Now, the process of upgrading this to gold is actually very easy. You're going to need to find a portal somewhere around the map. This is going to be the same process for getting all of the items gold. You need to find a portal somewhere on the map, jump through it, and then find the colored portal that is flying in the sky next to you. Once you fly through this other portal, you're going to spawn in and get a purple objective bounty somewhere on the map. This is going to basically spawn in somewhere. You need to drop down, pick it up, and then take on this objective bounty. These are going to be pretty darn difficult. You probably will need Pack-a-Punch, at least maybe Tier 2, maybe Tier 1 with a higher rarity, but you're going to need a good weapon for this, because it's going to not only spawn in your objective, but a bunch of extra zombies along with it, and a bunch of extra bosses along with it. Anyway, go over, take everything out, take over the marked one, and once you take them out, it is going to spawn a reward which is going to give you the golden version of what you just had, which is now the golden dog tag. So now you have this, and we can move on to the next one. So the next thing we're you're going to get is the golden pills, which again is very easy to do. You're just going to need to have brain rot on your gun. So load into the game with brain rot or find it somewhere in the game. You can get it from infested strongholds, or Aether Nest is a good place to get ammo mods of all different types. And go ahead, get brain rot on your gun, and then you're going to take it into an Aether Nest. Now this does not work. It does absolutely not work on infested strongholds. This has to be done in an Aether Nest somewhere on the map that has not been done before. So possibly someone in your game could have done it before. That's okay. Just go find another Aether Nest and do the following. You're going to take your brain rot gun and shoot a single bullet into one of the boils on the wall. Now, obviously be careful. There's going to be a ton of zombies spawning in. Don't try to rush this because you're going to have to hold F on this or hold square on this for like 10 seconds. It takes forever to do, but once this thing explodes, you will have a chance of getting a purple version of the pills out of this. It's not a guaranteed spawn. Sometimes you have to go to another one in the match in order to do it, and it only works once per ether hold. But once you do it correctly, you will get these purple pills, and then it is time to upgrade them to gold, which, you guessed it, is the exact same process of jumping through portals and doing the bounty that it gives you. Now, for this one, you're going to get a different type of boss zombie. That's all fine. Here is a map of all the portals in the game that could possibly spawn if you want to have that, because they don't appear on the map. You kind of just have to find them randomly. So this will help you out in finding your portals, because it can be really, really frustrating to go around and find them. Anyway, get the purple bounty that it spawns in. Kill all the bosses, kill the main boss that is marked. It will complete it. You'll get the golden pills out of the rewards portal, and you are on to the last one. So last but not least, we're going to get the golden camera. In order to get the golden camera, you need to have dead wire on your gun. Obviously, just do the exact same thing. Go into an Aether Nest, clear it in order to get good chances of getting a dead wire, or just spawn into the game with it. And once you have it, go find one of the orbs flying around the map. Here's a handy little map of all of the different orb locations that you can possibly find. Go find one of these purple orbs and shoot it with the gun that has dead wire on it, and it should turn gold. And just continue shooting it until it blows up, and whenever it does blow up, you will be able to go over and pick up the purple camera off the ground. And you guessed it, exact same upgrade process to get it to gold. Find a portal nearby, jump through it, and it'll take that camera away whenever you start this bounty contract with the portal. It'll take the camera away until you get it and upgrade it. So make sure you complete this if you start the contract. Start the contract, go find it. Sometimes you have a chance of these things going to tier 3, so I recommend, again, being very, very set up for this, because you don't know what kind of tier you're going to get on the bounty. Be set up for it, kill them all, and you get that golden camera. So now you know how to get all 4 of the golden quest items. Now let me tell you that you don't actually have to get all 4 yourself. You just, between your squad, have to have one of each in order to progress to the next step. In our game, we had like 3 of them, and we found a random that somehow had the golden camera, and we actually combined forces. We invited him to our squad, and we were able to complete it with the random. So you just need one of each item between your squad in order to go on to the next step. Just, you can go around asking people, or you can just load in the game with all 4 if you want to do it by yourself. Anyway, once you have everything you need, you're going to make your way over to this tornado right next to the tier 3 zone once again, and you're going to put these in their respective places. The diary goes into ice, pills go into brain rot, camera goes into dead wire, and dog collar goes into fire. You're just going to interact with it, open it up, and place it into the inventory, and if done correctly, it will start glowing and humming and be activated. You'll be able to tell very easily that it's activated. Now, just a quick note here, on day 1 when we completed this, and I'm not sure how long this is going to last for, these were incredibly buggy to open up the inventories of. You had to look at them at a very, very, very specific angle in order to get them to open. Not everyone can do it. It's incredibly frustrating, but just know that Treyarch is fixing this, and by the time you're watching this and doing it, it'll probably be fixed, but really at this time, there's no bug fix. You just have to kind of look at them at a very particular angle in order to open up the inventory to put them in. Again, Treyarch will fix it soon, but just a heads up if you're doing this on day 1. So once you have placed all 4 in, the portal will spawn, and once you activate this, it is going to be a boss fight. Let me make sure you hear this. It is going to be a capital B boss fight. There's going to be a tier 3 boss that spawns in, maybe even tier 4, because this thing absolutely clapped us. You're going to get tons of regular zombies, tons of armored zombies, tons of special zombies, and then a big old abomination that is going to clap you. I strongly recommend being incredibly set up for this, or having a juggernaut suit on standby to just absolutely melt this thing, because it is a small island, and we had 6 people and we're struggling hard with this. So make sure you're set up, activate it, and once you kill everything there, the portal will now be finished. You have now finished the Easter egg, and you are ready to go in for the sigils. Once you go in for your first sigil on this completion, this is unlocked for you forever. You no longer have to do anything with the quest items ever again. It is going to be there in every single game that you are. Your squad is going to be able to see it. You are set up. You are done. You are done with the Easter egg. It is a one and done thing. And now let's talk about sigils and how we can actually get that insane loot. So we have now permanently unlocked this portal. How you actually activate this and how you actually use it is going to be the sigils. Now sigils, once you've completed this Easter egg, will start dropping from tier 3 contracts. So you just need to farm some tier 3 contracts until you get a sigil, or just use one of the sigils that you get when completing the initial Easter egg. Once you get these sigils, you can activate this massive portal to send you into the tier 4 zone, which is the brand new Dark Aether zone. Again, I'm going to warn you, this ish is incredibly difficult. You need to be set up. Again, bigger party the better. Just have everybody join up, farm as much as you can, spawn in with high tier crystals, anything you can do to just buff yourself up as much as possible, because this is going to be tier 3 on steroids. I'm not even kidding. It's very, very difficult. So once you are set up to go, your squad is ready. Everyone's Pack-a-Punch tier 3 has at least purple rarity or gold rarity on their stuff. Perks up, everything, extra plates. You can go ahead and activate the sigil on the little corner of this gigantic triangle. So once you get into the tier 4 zone, you're gonna immediately look on top of this little archway, ignore the mega abomination in front of you, and look on top of this archway where the 3 different bunnies are, and keep in mind the direction they fly off to, because these are not gonna be marked on your map, but those are the 3 contracts that you can do in this area to get the insane loot. You need to watch where they fly off to, track them with your eyes as much as possible, go over to the area you saw them land on, look high and low, listen for them to be laughing. A lot of time they'll be on a roof or maybe like in a room and just laughing at you. You need to find them using those sound cues, pick it up, and then just do the contracts as per the usual. It'll be just like an escort contract, it'll be an elimination contract, all the normal contracts that you do on the mainland, except just way, way harder, because the zombies are way more buff and everything's way faster and there's way more mini bosses. There'll be like mega abominations during your escort mission. It's ridiculously, insanely difficult, but complete these and you'll start getting some insane loot. I'm talking way better than tier 3 to loot, but not quite the best loot in the game, because what you're looking for in these contracts is the Elder Sigil. There will be a possible reward of an Elder Sigil. Put that into your inventory, because we are taking it into the next game, and that is going to be the absolute top tier loot in the game. That personally, when I beat this on my run, I got 3 of the best schematics in the game that they just added in one game. 3 schematics in one game. That's how insane the loot is in the Elder one. So let's talk about the Elder one. Essentially, it is done the exact same way as the normal sigil. You go to this big triangle, which again, you don't have to activate again because you've already activated it in your first game. Absolutely, absolutely great. This is now active forever. But you put in the Elder Sigil on the back side, and whenever you put that in, it is going to spawn you into the exact same area, exact same rules apply. Watch the bunnies, watch where they go, except that you now have 15 minutes. You have 15 minutes to do all of the contracts and escape. Now, how you escape is, again, you look high and low and you will see a portal, a big triangle. There's one that's usually spawned on the top part of the castle, so you can just look up in the sky if you see that one. Find the portal, make sure you know your exit route, because you have half of the time before you die. This is incredibly fast paced. You cannot be slow. You cannot have anyone fall behind. Make sure you have a good squad. Run healing aura, because you're going to be dying a lot. You're going to be dying so much. Make sure you have a good squad. Are extremely set up, because this is the hardest stuff in the game and you have to do it quickly within the time limit, and a lot of these contracts take like 5 minutes to complete. So this is how you get it. As you can see, the rewards from these portals are the best in the game. This is literally insane loot, the best you could ever ask for, if you can even have an opportunity to open it up, because there's so many zombies. Again, come in super looted, but you will immediately get the best loot in the game if you complete one of these. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the tutorial. That is how you do everything. If there are any updates to this at all, if Treyarch patches anything or changes anything, I will include it at the very, very start of the description, so you guys can see that. Check the description immediately upon watching this to see if anything has changed. If not, cannot wait to see you guys in game. Join up with some friends, make some friends, because everything is easier with more and more people. If you do this solo, well, I'm probably going to try to do this solo. We'll do it just for fun. Anyway, thanks so much for tuning in, guys. I will see you guys very, very soon in the next one. Peace out, adios, and goodbye.